Yes. Yes, really. What up, guys? How we doing today? How we doing? How we doing? And what up? How we doing? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I have a new Into the Pit theory. Also, I just released a video yesterday. If you guys haven't watched it yet, make sure you guys are watching it. 100%. So, there's that. Hold on, I'm going to do something here. Why are you looking at Fred Boy? What? I'm looking at Fred Boy. Who's Fred Boy? What are you talking about? Not looking at no Fred Boy. I am Fred Boy. No, actually, I don't know. What you talking about? What you talking about, dude? Got like 150, 180 views on that video. Let me see, what are we at? 154 views on, 156 views on that video. We need more. Share it with your friends. Nah, actually, it doesn't matter. I'm cool. It happens. Fred Bear, I said Fred Boy. Why are you looking at Fred Boy? Who is Fred Boy? What are you talking about looking at Fred Boy? I don't know what you mean. Anyways, yes. So first off, I want to talk about my video from yesterday. So if you guys have seen it, and you got any complaints or discussions or anything like that, let me have it. Is Fred Bear? I know that Fred Boy is Fred Bear. What I'm saying is what do you mean? Why am I looking at Fred Bear? What do you mean? Why am I looking at Fred Bear? Was I looking at Fred Bear? Because I don't remember looking at Fred Bear. Or are you talking about my starting soon screen? You mean this screen right here? I'm not looking at Fred Bear. Or did you mean, what are you looking at, Fred Boy? I like it. I like this starting screen. It's a good screen. It's one that Dabo made. That Dabs made. My editor, Dabs. Hello, Alessandro. How are you doing? Again, if you guys got any questions, complaints, or anything else like that about my video from yesterday, today's the day to talk about it. And then I also have a new theory. That I had a shower. It was a shower epiphany. Today that we'll get into at some point about Into the Pit. And I think I know what Into the Pit actually is. And I think so. I don't know. It's like I want to talk about things right now, but I also want to give people some time to get in to the stream. So that way I don't have to repeat myself 800 times about what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to give people a chance. You guys ever had any green screen shenanigans that you ever wanted me to do? Now's the time. Now's the time to ask. God. You ever accidentally scratch your nose and then it scabs up in that one spot? That's what's happened to me. I have the tiniest little scab on my nose for my finger accidentally scratching it when I go to, because I had an itch and I itched it, but then my fingernail was long enough to scratch it and leave it enough to where it blistered a little bit, and now there's a little blister attached to it, and it sucks. Hate it. Whoa. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dave Theory has a cool... You get right? I like... Cross. Okay, Cross, you're here. You're the main person that I wanted to have here for my epiphany theory that I had today that I'm probably going to make a video on because I love this theory that I had. Here's my theory. Right? I came across an epiphany where Into the Pit could maybe be game continuity. Right? Here's been the problem, right? Is that we have been looking at Into the Pit as potentially another retelling of the MCI events, right? FNAF fan game? No, I have not seen that yet, Shadow Freddy. We've been looking at Into the Pit as being potentially another retelling of the MCI events, right? But then we talk about, the the inequalities between the two. 6 dead kids, potentially in a different area of the state, all this other stuff like ID Fantasies gave me, and thinking about ID Fantasies video where she was talking about how it shouldn't be the MCI. One of the reasons would be that it's located not in Hurricane. It would be located in Taylorsville, Utah, more than likely. What if it's not a retelling of the MCI event? What if instead it's actually a retelling? What if the Stitch line is a retelling of the DCI event from the FNAF 2 game? Because the things we do know about the FNAF 2 game is that it's in a new location, which if you're going to franchise and you're making a second location, that second location should be a good distance away from the first store or restaurant or whatever you have in order to get a new customer base. You shouldn't be fighting your original location for customer base. You should be having a whole new customer base to get. So if you're going to franchise, you should be moving to a new area in the state to have your second location, but still somewhere close enough. Right? Well, yeah, see? So, and what's the other thing that we know about the DCI? What's the other thing that we know about the DCI, guys? How many? How many kids in the DCI? How many dead kids in the DCI, guys? In the FNAF 2 minigame that indicates the dead children, how many do you find? Yeah, let me see it in chat, guys. Let me see that number in chat. Nope, you're wrong, Shadow Freddy. Not enough. We find 6. We find 6 dead children in the DCI event. In the FNAF 2 location, the deaths are 6 of them by a guy in a golden rabbit suit, and the deaths are in a way more public fashion than in the MCI. That's why we call them the DCI, the dead children incident, because there is no mystery behind it, not the missing children's incident. Just take DCI while MCI is more exactly DCI, and I think that the Stitch line isn't like, it isn't game continuity still. We're still out of that. But just like Silver Eyes is a retelling of the FNAF 1 game, right? Yeah, MCI is always used a lot. That's because of the theorist community. We hyperfixate on this MCI event because we have so much information about it that we just assume all information we're getting is about it, and we have completely left the DCI event in the past. We just left it alone. But what if Scott used the Stitch line? So his first book series, so think about it this way. Look at it logically. His first book series is about his first location, right? And then that first location gets reused multiple times. But that first book series is about his first location. What if his second book series is about his second location? The FNAF 2 location, the DCIs, the 6 children that died there. What if the Stitch line is a retelling of that story? Because what's the one thing we never get about the DCI? An ending. Like, that's one thing we never get with those children. We never learn anything about those children. We don't know the names of those children. We don't know what happens to those spirits. We don't know if they ever find a good ending, right? Because FNAF 3 gives us the ending to the MCI, gives us part of the ending to the MCI kids, and then FNAF 6 gives us the final ending to those MCI kids. Everything from FNAF 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all about the MCI kids. And the third book series is about the third location, the Pizzaplex. So here's the one thing that a lot of people won't agree with me about, but I do believe that the MCI takes place at the FNAF 4 location, because I believe the FNAF 4 location is the FNAF 1 location, is the FNAF 6 location, is underneath the Pizzaplex. I believe that's all the same building. I believe that the FNAF 4 location is a Fredbear's that is converted into a Fazbear. Right? I believe that it gets converted into a Fazbear. into a Freddy Fazbear's. I think what happens is I think Dave goes missing, aka murdered. Cassidy gets bit. The MCIs happen. Charlie dies. All these things happen, and so they refurbish it and rebrand it. It was the Fredbear's Family Pizza. I think they're in the process of refurbishing it, and that Dave and Cassidy's two events causes them to push the refurb faster and change it into a Freddy Fazbear's to distance themselves from those two tragic events that happen. DCI is toys now melted into fun times, and that's the thing is, is a lot of one of the flacks I have been getting because I was talking about it on the Reddit today. One of the flack that I got was that the toy animatronics don't exist in the Into the Pit game in that shop, and I'm like, well, it's a retelling, and honestly, how often do we even see the toys used after FNAF World? Like, how many short stories can you count where the toy animatronics are mentioned? We know they exist, obviously. Scott can't take them back, but they're only used in that one restaurant, and then they disappear, right? They never really show their face again. So in the retelling, he just doesn't bother with them at all. And also, if you look at the animatronics in the Into the Pit game, they look more of like a hybrid between the toy animatronics and the original animatronics. Only Into the Pit game, but with the book separated from the adaptations. Wait, so with DCI, you could accept Into the Pit game, only the Into the Pit game, but with the book separated from the adaptation. Maybe I could accept the Into the Pit being that's the thing is I think Into the Pit is its own continuity. I think Into the Pit is starting a new game continuity, which I don't think is a bad thing, guys. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he's taking, FNAF 2 has always felt weird, right? It's always kind of been out of place. 15-ish. Yeah. Radio. Go watch the vid, man. Go watch the vid. Like it, share it, whatever. But no, for instance, if you really think about it, if you think about it, in FNAF 2, what did it? All it did was tell us about the Bite of 87, right? But the Bite of 87. What's really weird is in FNAF 1 we talk about the Bite of 87, but why is the Bite of 87 talked about in FNAF 1 more than the 6 kids? That's so weird. The bite from 87 overshadows the 6 murders. But how? How does it fit? That's what I mean. Is how would it fit? It doesn't, well, I mean, I guess it fits no, because we know it doesn't fit because the only way it fits comfortably is if it is the DCI event, but we know that it's not in the same, it feels like a retelling of the FNAF 2 location. It feels like a retelling. Just like the Silver Eye series is a retelling of the FNAF 1 events. Real quick, have you or do you plan to play Project Box? Don't know what that is, so no. Maybe someday, I don't know. But no, Into the Pit doesn't fit, work with why Balloon Boy being used a lot in the arcades and Into the Pit. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a retelling. I think it's a new game continuity where he's going to focus on, refocus on FNAF 2 location and, those kids. And it looks, oh, okay. I don't know. I might not radio, but go watch the video. Anyways, I can see Into the Pit mixing MCI 85 and DCI 87. Well, that's the thing is Into the Pit takes place in 85. It takes place in June of 1985. I think it's a new continuity where MCI doesn't happen. Right, where the MCI never happened, it's just the DCI that happens, but it happens in 85. Right, but here's the thing: I still to this day, I argue that MCI took place in 83. I think a lot of things point to it taking place in 83. Ooh, Oh, my shoulders are being weird. About the week before. I need to read the week before, right? I need to read the week before in order to do that, but I don't have the money, obviously, to buy it right now. So I do need to read it. But I don't think I don't think that the MCI takes place in 85. I think it does in the Silver Eye series, obviously. But I think that's where we're getting our year. But the thing is that, and people have been doing this a lot lately, more than ever I've seen, where we are nitpicking what facts from the books we're claiming are irrefutable, but then other facts we just completely, there's other things that happen in the books that we're just like, no. Like, again, like in the book it says 85, but but it also says that Charlie is a teenager. That it says that they took place in 85, but it's also claiming that Charlie would have been old enough in 85 or whatever. It took place in 85. Well, I guess that's wrong, but that Charlie lived. Yeah, it also says that Charlie didn't die, right? That the puppet doesn't even, well, no, Charlie does die, but Charlie dies before that. Yeah, that's what I mean. We're cherry picking. We're cherry picking what we believe is right and what we believe doesn't matter. What matters and what doesn't matter. Because cherry and nitpicking, and that's what I mean. Is like I'm saying, like if the game specifically, like we don't get a date in the games. Period. In the games, the only thing we get is a month. We get June. We get June 25th, I believe is what it is. In FNAF 1, the only thing we get is June 25th. We also get that after that, it was several years before they finally actually shut down the FNAF 1 location. 2 years is not several years, in my opinion. 2 years does not count as several years. So if the event happened in 85 and they made a second location and closed down the first location, that's not several years. That's a couple years. Several years is 4, 5, 7, whatever. I also kind of think that the FNAF 1 location was still up and running and trying to, get its way through while FNAF 2 is still happening. Also, I think that they're both running at the same time. And that the FNAF 2 event happening also is the reason why FNAF 1 closes down at some point. You hear, what up, Liz? Welcome in. Yeah. That's the thing is that Scott was like, there will be information from the books that will be used, but what we're doing is we're deciding that some information is concrete, you can't deny it, it's irrefutable, but then other information we're just supposed to pretend like it doesn't happen. I like the nitpicking is the biggest. Yeah, have the full lore figured out in the OG games. He added details and made a story as things progress. Not everything is going to match up. Exactly. But also, we make this implication that because he puts it, and he even says, the Silver Eyes is a retelling. As a retelling, that means that any facts and information in it is up for grabs. Is up for debate. Just because the book takes place in 1985... well, the event in the book taking place in 1985 doesn't mean that the game's event took place in 1985. We have a lot to suggest that it takes place in 1983, right? Because if it doesn't take place in 1983, then that means that Cassidy dies and that other character, Dave, dies years before the other MCIs die, before the other 4 die. And we don't even still, in the games... if that character in FNAF 4, the one that I talked about in my latest video, Dave, if he isn't a member of the MCI, then we never see in the game the 5th MCI character. We never see the 5th death. No, you're good, Amber. You're good. But that's what I mean. It's like we've never seen the 5th kid ever in the games specifically. We know about them. We know they exist because FNAF 1 tells us that there was 5 kids that went missing, right? But we don't know when where that 5th kid happened. We know about Susie and we know about Fritz. We know about Jeremy and Gabriel. We don't know about this 5th kid. If it's not Dave in the Golden Bear suit in the FNAF 4 location, then we don't know who they are. Over both sides of the book debate. I think the one that would win is the err on the side of caution and decide and and agree that nothing is perfect. That that isn't perfect, that the books aren't 100%. Like, I like using the books to justify things, but I don't like using the books as the only piece of evidence, right? And I think that's how Pat used to put it back in the day, and he still does. He still does. He says that information in the books are better to be used as supplemental evidence than having it be the fact. An amateur over the Fnaf lore? Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's me too. I mean, I'm just an amateur. If you can give me irrefutable proof, that's the thing. It's like, if it's airtight, if it's in the game, it's airtight evidence. Everything else has cracks. Is the problem. That's the only problem. Like, right now we know logbook airtight. The logbook tells us that there are two spirits, Dave and Cassidy. As far as I'm concerned, it looks pretty good. Is the Dave one? Could the Dave one be sketchy? I guess, but it felt pretty good. It made a lot of sense. EVAD, turning around in the mirror, you get Dave. Is who you give the names to airtight? No, because some people, again, the book series has made this really rough, right? Because in the fourth closet, we have a character named Cassidy, who is a girl with black hair. And a lot of people, again, they took book information, latched onto it, and made it, in their mind, they made it concrete evidence of something without thinking about the game implications, right? And I can make the argument, well, Cassidy being a girl, okay, so if you're going to take that from the books, feel like you're too scared to give up on your opinions even though you're feeling free for ideas. Well, no, it's not that. Well, that's the thing, is that it's just the fact that it's not concrete. Like, I can give evidence for my opinion, right? And again, if other people don't want to believe it, that's fine. I don't have to change my opinion. It's not that I'm going to change my opinion. It's just that I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, right? I'm going to defend my opinion, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. At the end of it, I'm not going to be like, well, you're wrong. So I'm hypocritical. Exactly. But at the end of the day, I'm going to just say that I believe my opinion, but I'm never going to tell you that you're flat out wrong, unless you say something that's flat out wrong, If you come in here and you're like, oh, Henry's actually the murderer, I'm going to be like, you're wrong, right? But if you come in here and you're like, well, what if Michael's actually helping with the murders because we see this and this? And I'd be like, well, that's an interesting theory. I don't know if I believe it or not, but I can understand why you would come to that conclusion. And I understand why people come to these conclusions. I think it's more of people don't, it's not that it's my opinions that I'm locked in on. It's more of I get frustrated with people who get too locked in on things that aren't actually concrete, right? It's people who present what's the word for it? Right? It's something it's taking like something that isn't a proven fact and presenting it as a proven fact, and when someone else says, well, actually, if you look at it this way, that's not actually a proven fact, and then being like, no, it is. Like the Cassidy thing. It's people being like, well, Cassidy is a girl in the fourth closet, so we know that Cassidy is a girl. It's like, Mike's also a dead kid in the Silver Eyes series, not William Afton only has one kid in the Silver Eyes series, but he has 3 in the game. So you're going to tell me that Michael in the book means that Michael in game is now Golden Freddy? I mean, Dual Process tried to do that. Tried to make Michael the vengeful spirit. But that's what I mean. It's like, yeah. I'm the Ballora Afton believe. See, I do believe that Ballora could be Afton. It could be Mrs. Afton. I think that if you can give me some extra evidence to prove that, I will 100% believe it. It's meant to, yeah, with new info or different perspectives. I think it's important to stay open-minded when nothing is exactly. Well, there are some things that are concrete, Amber. Actually, I got to rephrase that for you. There are some things that are concrete, and those are the things that you see in the game. We know anything that you see in the games, in the original 7 games, or Security Breach, Ruin, Help Wanted 1 and 2, and then Secret of the Mimic coming up. That's concrete. I end up doing posts due to boredom. I mean, I look through actually, I don't look through the Reddit. I don't look through the Reddit as often as you would think somebody like me would, because of the fact that I know some people are just so stubbornly arrogant about their theories that have like no evidence. You know, the name Capella has a meaning. I did not know that. You know the name Capella? Capella? I don't know what that name is. Or Capalia. Capalia has a meaning. What's the meaning? Capalia has a meaning? No, that's cool. But no, where am I at? What am I talking about? Yeah. No, but yeah, no, I think, well, the Cassidy thing. So, and I would point out to people when they're like, well, Cassidy Afton can't be a thing because Cassidy is supposed to be a girl. And I would point out, well, Michael in the book is used for a different character too. Why couldn't the name Cassidy be used for a different character who is also still an Afton? Yes, I do have to read the week before. I haven't yet. It's because I don't have the option to. I might have to see. Does someone have it up on YouTube? Week before, I haven't finished the. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, his daughter's name is Coppelia. Yeah. That's Ralph's daughter, Coppelia. I've heard people talk about the book. I just haven't actually been able to read it myself yet. But no, but again, the Cassidy thing, it's like the name Mike is used in the book series too, not referring to Michael Afton, but that name has been reused. Jeremy has been used multiple times. You know, would Rocket. Yeah. So it's like, so that doesn't, in my opinion, that doesn't erase my theory. It's just, okay, so the other Afton kid's name got reused in the book series too. He used all 3 of William Afton's kids' names in the book series. Why does my arm look so fucking... Got full money for the book. I have no money for the book. I'm in the middle of paying off things that I didn't know I was even going to have to pay off. Honestly, I won't be able to start investing again into FNAF stuff until after I get monetized on the channel and start making some kind of money off of the live streams and the videos and stuff. Oh, my back. Oh, yeah. But yeah. So I know some people think Cassidy is a girl, but Cassidy is a unisex name, so Cassidy can be the name of the boy child named Afton, right? Yes, I have a job, but that job is to put food on the table for me and my family, and to pay my bills and to make sure I can live here and pay the electric and the gas and the internet and stuff like that. Like I just said, I just had new expenditures show up that I wasn't expecting to have happen. Yeah. If I didn't have a job, I would stream more often. Yeah. American economy ain't no joke, period. Do not move to America unless you are literally doing it for content creator purposes. Like, if you make your money online on the internet, then you can move to America. But if you live in America and you are not a content creator or like something like that, it's not worth it. Unless you are some kind of professional in something crazy that usually pays good money. But if you're like, I'm going to move to America and be a retail worker, you are fucked, okay? It's better. You would make a better decision moving to any European country, right? Move to France, move to Britain, You know, a lot of people, I see stories all the time that present like this thing, like, yeah, the American dream. No, the new American dream is to move to Europe. Like, that's the American dream now. The American dream is to either fall into money somehow, is to just like trip and fall into money, or move to Europe. Right, like I saw this one. There was a person that was like a great example to show the difference between America and other countries is there was an IT firm that was an international IT firm that had workers both in San Diego and in France. Well, they decided to shut that part of the company down. The people who worked in San Diego got a 1-week severance and was told immediately that they were done, hand in their laptop and be done with to be done. The people in France had a 1 month, they got 1 month of pay, and the company had to prove that their layoffs were true layoffs and they weren't going to be refilling that job position at all, or else those workers would have got an entire year's worth of pay. Right? In America, you could just be fired. In other countries, they have to actually give you a reason, give you pay for firing you or laying you off. Like, there has to be reasons. Tomboy? Oh, Cassidy is a tomboy? That Cassidy is a girl, but she's very male presenting. That crying child is Cassidy Afton, but Cassidy Afton is actually a girl who just is very boyish. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in America, you can just get fired and get zero. Like, you just get paid out the money that they owe you for the work that you've already done. That'd be about it. They don't have to pay you extra money to help you get by until you find a job or anything like that. Well, I think no. No, because Crying Child has to be a boy because Crying Child is referred to as he in FNAF 4, right? Yeah, no. In FNAF 4, Bite Victim, Crying Child, Cassidy, whatever, is referred to as he. So Bite Victim has to be male. Because it's the 80s. They didn't do pronouns back in the 80s. That the puppet was in the FNAF 1 location because that Bonnie came out of the music box in a picture on the wall. FNAF 1, that's a pretty lame theory, but yeah. I mean, here's the thing. FNAF 1, FNAF 2, you know, the puppet could have been at the FNAF 2 location still. Kind of want Bite Victim to be the vengeful spirit. So, I'm trying to think. The problem with that is then who becomes the 5th MCI kid? Because no matter way you twist, no matter which way you twist it, Bite Victim is not the 5th MCI kid. You know, there's a 5th one still out in the ether. That's why I like my Dave theory, right? And I know I got the fucking argument again. After I posted the video on Reddit, I got the fucking argument again where someone was like, "Those are wires." It's like, they're not wires. They're not wires. If they were wires, it would have been black, or it would have been gray, silver, you know, actual wire colors. Copper would have been actual real copper. Like, and like their argument back when I was like, no, it would have been, you know, whatever. Their argument back is, Scott's just really bad at doing sprites. It's like, no, he's not. Like, no, he's not. No, Bite Victim is definitely dead. Bite Victim dies at FNAF 4. We know that for sure. But yeah, they're like Scott's just bad at making sprites. Why would he, or why else would he keep making the purple sprite just all purple? It's like, for recognition, for character recognition. Hey, this is the purple guy. Like, here he is. Like, so you can, like, in a sealed box during. Maybe the puppet is who's in the box. Led puppet to follow Henry. No, I think what happened. I think the puppet got shipped to the FNAF 2 location because it fit in better and was like trying to help those animatronics, and Lefty actually went and brought it back, right? Because we don't see the puppet in FNAF 1, but we also don't see the puppet in FNAF 3, we don't see the puppet in FNAF 4, we don't see the puppet in FNAF 5, we see the puppet in FNAF 6 after Lefty has brought them back. So what if the puppet has been trapped? What if the puppet was made in Hurricane, Utah, right? But then when they opened up the second location, they moved some of the animatronics, to that second location, but they left the puppet there for some reason because they felt the puppet didn't fit in the FNAF 1 location, and they left it there with like the toy animatronics or whatnot, who they got disassembled at some point. But what if the puppet's still just sitting there, right? It's not like the puppet's gonna travel halfway across the state, and it's there until Lefty goes and gets it, because Lefty is specifically built to go get it. So it would make sense that Lefty would travel a long distance to go get this animatronic, but the puppet doesn't know to go do that. Hostile to kill night guards, and this will let Goldie be extremely hot. Yeah, exactly. The puppet wasn't in FNAF 1 to stop them from being so hostile. But the puppet itself is kind of hostile in FNAF 2. It kills the guard. But if you are playing as William or Michael Afton, it would make sense that the puppet would be hostile to you, because the puppet knows that you're bad guys. Because we do have the belief that if you're playing as Michael Afton in FNAF 2, you're doing it under the wish of your father, William. Right? We need more puppet lore. Charlie's kind of lacking in the lore category. Sister location animatronic because it was human like features and is flexible like the sister location with the interactive novels. Yeah, more puppet lore with the interactive. Maybe that'd be nice. But no, the puppet was built as a security device is the thing. It was built as a way to stop kids from being kidnapped, which is one of the reasons. Like, it was also one of the things that I use as evidence to show that Dave is a possibility, because it's like, what other explanation is there for Henry to build the puppet if no kids have died or been kidnapped yet before the puppet's created? And also, if the kids, even if it was built after the MCI victims, why again would he build the puppet to stop kids from leaving the pizzeria if he knows that the kids are being murdered in the pizzeria? Like, the only explanation for why he would build a anti-kidnap robot would be because somebody got kidnapped. And the best explanation would be Dave, his own son, got kidnapped, just like he got kidnapped in the Silver Eyes. Well, they think he got kidnapped in the Silver Eyes series. It turns out to be Charlie, obviously. But, what if he... That was the other part that I didn't talk about in the actual video. See, this is why when I when I make videos, sometimes new things pop into my head. FNAF 4 and the book were being made at the same time. Yeah, exactly. I think the worst part is, like, I think the Mimic has to be a situation where the Mimic wasn't around, right? I think the only explanation... There's two explanations. The Mimic was hidden and does not become actual, like, part of everything until it's advanced in technology enough to where it can leave as Glitch Trap. Or it's in William Afton the whole time. I like that. I like my theory. I kind of like my theory about the Mimic being in control of William Afton the whole time. But there's a line in the week before saying, if only the victim could tell what he did to provoke that attack, but he doesn't talk anymore or do much else. That is in reference to the Bite of 87 victim, the victim who lost their frontal lobe and potentially lost the ability to speak. Looks so different there because the security puppet and the Charlie puppet, it's just because... Yeah. Two puppets look so different, like the security puppet minigame where Charlie dies. The security puppet looks like FNAF 1 puppet, but like, I don't know. That's why the novel trilogy slaps way better than the other books. Yeah. The Silver Eye series. Yeah, the Silver Eye series. Yeah, the first book was pretty good. I haven't read the other two yet. I don't need to. The FNAF 2 puppet and the security puppet. That's why does Freddy Fazbear look different in every fucking game? It's Scott's very inconsistent about his character creation. But no, I think it's actually it's different versions, I think. It's just like I think what it is like what's the word for it is here's the thing. Them possessing an animatronic didn't stop the engineers from working on the animatronics, right? You as an engineer in sister location, you as an engineer working in sister location, you work on Funtime Freddy, and we know he's possessed. He has remnant in him. Like, has ended. Yeah. Is just nonsensical due to the book debate. Yeah, exactly. Is just nonsense. That's what I mean. It's like I think the concrete evidence has to be found in the games, and then your circumstantial evidence or like your supporting evidence needs to come from the books. Like your concrete evidence can't come from a book and then you implicate it into the games. Like you have to get it from the game and then find supporting evidence to it in the books. I think you have to do it one way, not the other. And that's why I dispute the Cassidy is a girl one, because there is no evidence in the games that Vengeful Spirit is a girl. It's actually the exact opposite. It's more implied that the Vengeful Spirit is a boy. There was two puppets because the security puppet you can buy in FNAF 6, but the one that Charlie is possessing is in Lefty. Yes. So more than likely what it is you're buying a new version of the security puppet from the Pizzaplex to fill out the exactly. But that's what you are. So you're not doing anything wrong, Cross, because what you're doing is you're finding your concrete evidence in the mimic lore or in the mimic presentation in the games. And then you're finding supporting evidence to what you're finding in the games in the books, right? Is that what you're doing? I'm going to assume that's what you're doing, right? If you say that you're cherry picking the books, is that you found evidence in the games or whatnot, and then you're using the books to support it. And I'm taking Into the Pit game within the game line. Okay. You can do that. Yeah, that's fine. It's hard. I think it's the reason that I don't do it is because I think it's hard to defend Into the Pit being part of the game line. Because everything that happens in Into the Pit, there's no evidence to support it in the other games, right? Like we don't have agony memories in the other games. We don't have agony monsters in the game line. Yes, that's again, if you see solid evidence in the games, like for instance, I found that character Dave, right? I saw the golden suit with tuft of hair poking out. That's my concrete evidence that there is a character here, and that character is going to have significance. And then I look for what that significance could be. I saw other things. There was another part of the game that uses concrete evidence that that character could be Henry's son, with the FNAF 6 line of a wound first inflicted on me that I left to spread or fester, or whatever the wording is. A wound first inflicted on me. If we see, and again, we see concrete game evidence that Charlie is the last death because of the Tombstone game, that then makes the FNAF 6 line more mysterious. What is he talking about? If Charlie is the last death, then what is he implying? Well, I see this character that looks dead, that looks like it's dead before everybody else. Dudophobia, yada yada. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So the Tales epilogues definitely feels like they're supposed to be a continuity or a timeline or whatnot. And then you have these stories that fill in the extra blanks from it, and all of that could be pushed into the games in a specific way. Does it mean that they're a direct insert? Probably not, but help wanted to get DLC. It might not though. Novel version of Fazbear Friday. Oh, the graphic novel, yeah. Plush Trap, if you want to see how Plush Trap looks like in the novel version of this book, look it up. I mean, we know what Plush Trap is supposed to look like, so. But no, yeah, so that's what I did. I took that Fnaf 6 quote that then got weird because of a Help Wanted to mini game. This is all game evidence, right? All game evidence. Nothing in the books yet, nothing in the short stories or anything like that yet. It's just all game evidence so far. And then use that to build this theory that Dave is potentially Henry's son. And then I find book evidence and stuff to kind of support that too. Edwin is a Henry stand-in, and Edwin has a son named David, right? We see in the games that security guards tend to have the names of William Afton victims. Well, in the Silver Eyes, William Afton himself, as a security guard, pretends to be the guy named Dave Miller or David Miller. So I use those as supporting evidence that, like, oh, here's a character who is also a security guard name. Here is a character who shares the same name as this character, who is the son of this other character's stand-in, son, right? My illustrations of it. I made a post about VIP's appearance from the books. Is VIP in the actual books? VIP showing up in the games would be kind of cool. I like the idea. I do believe that I do believe that these interactive novels are either going to be direct game connected, or they're going to be have a lot to get from them. And if VIP kind of is, like I pointed out when we did the VIP read through and stuff, that VIP I think really makes that point, because it has multiple endings in it where it ends with the line very informative happens in like 4 of the endings, like the main endings, and with the line very informative being like one of the last pieces of dialogue. And I think that is a precursor to let us know that this book series, the interactive novels, are going to be very informative, that they are going to be stuffed full of information and lore that we should pay attention to. Have you heard the theory about Plush Trap in FNAF AR where he escapes the house under sister location and out in the streets? I mean, no, but I could definitely see that being a thing to be within the game line. I think I think it's going to depend. Right? I think it's going to be the same as like every other book franchise. I don't think that every one of them is going to be direct game line, or could be. Depends, right? But we're also at this point now where it looks like we're about to have a second game continuity timeline with Into the Pit being built out with other short stories that I think are all going to be Stitch Wraith stuff. What up, Beanie? So I think that we're about to have 2 game continuities. So I think Return to the Pit is going to be part of the new game continuity, right? I think it's going to be informative of the Stitch Line game continuity that's about to come out, which I think is awesome, because after my epiphany today, I think that the Stitch Line is going to be a DCI game continuity, right? I think it's going to build off of the DCI events. I think Into the Pit is a DCI retelling to like let us know that those kids were taken care of. I think the Stitch Line is like Scott's way of telling a new story using an old concept to let us know that those kids did eventually get taken care of. Because if I remember correctly, the Stitch Line ending ends with those kids basically being taken care of. And the game is gold and rusted, unlike the other alerts. Oh, okay. Cool. So I think that's what it is. I think the Stitch Line storyline is Scott being like, because he said way back in the day, he even said like it gets harder and harder to tell a new story, right? Well, to tell a new story without retelling a story, and I think that's what it is. I think he's giving the DCI event the justification that it never had. I think he already has, actually, with the Stitch line. I think he did. Don't allow VIP to be game line, but instead start with the week before since it's number one. VIP is 0. I think that's fair though. I think VIP is like, it's like the prelude, or it's like, and the thing is again, I don't know if all of them are going to be game continuity. I think they're going to have to establish in the writing that they are game continuity. Like, from what I've heard from people and from what little bit I have read of it, the week before establishes early on in the book itself that it is game continuity. Yeah. Plus trap being out and about does sound like fun. I think that sounds like a fun, like, short. Like a short mini game or something of like you're just playing as plush trap running around the streets, like scaring people or whatnot, or like taking people over. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get interactive novels. They're either going to establish early on what continuity they're part of. I think is what Scott's gonna do this time. I think he's starting to get more cautious. I think he's starting to get more careful about how he writes and how he presents things. Because like VIP could be game line. It does establish itself way early in the timeline, but what it also does is it pushes back how far in the timeline Bonnie got murdered, for lack of a better word. Rockstar Bonnie got took out in the Megaplex, or in the Pizzaplex, because in that game, I mean in that novel, in that interactive novel, illustration, I don't know, go for it. Yeah. Do what you want to do. You do you. Yes. But no, like in VIP, they talk about how the daycare hasn't even been added in yet. So daycare attendant is doing something different than the daycare attendant job. So Sun and Moon is off somewhere doing something, right? But it also has, what am I trying to say here? Yeah, so daycare hasn't even been built yet, and we know that that's a big installation. So we know that has to be like a big project that would have taken quite a while to build, a good year at least, probably. So if it's not even built yet, but Bonnie is already missing, and Montgomery Gator seems like it was recent, because Montgomery Gator doesn't have his big golden statue yet. But so I might do illustrations on the book characters. Oh, that'd be cool. But yeah, but that's one thing I've been that I'm thinking that makes it weird. Like if VIP, it could be there. The thing is there's nothing about VIP that would stop it from being game line, right? There's nothing that stops it from being game continuity, because it implies at the end of us beating it, getting the true ending, that we erase VIP. So there'd be no reason for us to see VIP in Security Breach. It creates a character who is erased by the end of it. So there's no expectation to see any like residuals of that character in the in Security Breach. It also gives the timeline enough time difference that anything we see in that novel that we would expect to see in Security Breach, there is an explanation for why it's not there. Please do not spoil the book that much. No. We're here theorizing. We're going to be talking about any book and anything that is available for us to talk about. If you haven't read the book yet, it's free. Here's the thing, Fnaf fan. It's free. You could have read it a month ago, 2 months ago. It's free. Go to Google Books, go to Amazon, go wherever you go, Amazon Kindle, wherever you go to read books, it's free. The one that I'm talking about is free. So, and that's my thing. If it's free to play, free to read, free to see, whatever, I do not feel bad about spoilers. If it's over a year old, don't feel bad about spoilers. I haven't read the week before, so I can't give out big spoilers on it. But again, if you have ability to have already seen it or played it or watched it or whatever, or read it, I don't feel bad about spoilers. What up, Michael? Michael fan? What up? But yeah. No, everything about VIP, Scott didn't give the story for Steelwood as like novel or like the lore changes. Wait, so when Scott didn't give the story for Steelwool, does like novel or like the lore changes? Well, so it doesn't. I know, Tubbo. You have the same profile picture. Um, so Ari, it's more of like, and he talked about it. Yeah, it did change the lore a little bit, but obviously he's just going to pivot, to change to accommodate that. And I think by the first two of the interactive novels, I think it shows that Scott is being a little more, subconscious or more conscious about the way he writes his stories to give a better implication on what continuity the book or story that he's writing falls into. Because the week before very easily establishes, as far as I can tell, by as far as what I've seen from people talking about it, it very easily establishes that it is game continuity. It gives very specific information that implies that it is game continuity and that it will be reliable information to be used in game continuity. VIP does similar tact, but it does it in a different way where it gives enough of a time difference between the game that it would be referencing and what is happening in the book itself that any differences between that book and the game is easily explained by the time difference because it's an ever-changing landscape inside of the Pizzaplex to make things look good. Yes, he did course correct with Ruin and Beyond. Yes, with Help 1 and 2 and Ruin, he's course corrected to kind of give that story back to where he wanted it to be. Yeah, I think VIP and the week before is showing that. His brother or sister here. I haven't seen Hazel, and I don't know. Yeah, I think he. I hope that he makes implications in the beginning of the books to show what it's connected to, because I do think that an important fact is that I do think it's important to indicate that I think it's actually a better thing. I think it's actually better if we do start having a second game continuity, right? Because if he makes a second game continuity, that allows us to start having more games come out more quickly without it being too convoluted in the gaming stuff. Because he could have multiple game companies making multiple Five Nights at Freddy's games that are part of different game continuities. VIP, it might, but well, does it? Well, in what way, Cross? What are you thinking? Because it definitely takes place way before Help 1 and 2, obviously, because it takes place way before. It definitely takes place after Help Wanted, but before Security Breach. It takes place in the interim between the two. Wait, Dream? What? Dream Theory is real? I think he destroyed Dream Theory way back. Adding this to my brain for FNAF. What? Yeah, no, Dream Theory I think was a thing way back in the day, but he changed it later on. Yeah, I know you are. I figured you were. I might have to go get water real quick, guys. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna go grab water real quick. Are you referring to the VR experience being adapted into the Vanny mask? Is that what you're referring to, Cross? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Come fly with me, let's fly away. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, but Cross, is that what you're referring to? The VR experience that you do in VIP, being a like a precursor to the Vanny Mask experience? And no, I mean, I don't know. I think Dream Theory might have been intentional for like a minute. I honestly think Scott didn't know of like a really good way to end the series, because he was like, 4 is all I want to do. But then like that seemed to be like the only answer, and people didn't like it. So then he was like, all right, I'll make another one. And then he made another game, and then he was like, all right, I'm just going to keep doing this until people tell me that they don't want me to do it anymore. Did Cross disappeared on me? Got it. All right. How's everybody else doing tonight? But yeah. So new theory, as I have in the title, the new theory is that I think that Into the Pit, or specifically the Stitch Wraith story, is actually a retelling of the FNAF 2 incident, not FNAF 1. It's that that it is a new storyline about the DCI characters, the DCI kids, right? Which is honestly, it would be easy to do because we didn't get hardly any information about those kids to begin with. So like, it honestly would have been a good idea, or if he didn't do it, I think ending the series with a satisfying game is a dead thing to Scott, given the book debate. Now, yeah, absolutely. Him starting to write books, he's fucked himself. He is. The FNAF series exists until he makes an encyclopedia. That's the only way that he can end this whole thing. The only way he can end the whole thing is to literally make a Freddy Fazbear encyclopedia. He makes a final game that ends everything, and then he makes an encyclopedia that tells us everything. Who's who killed who found who. Told brother that you're live. You guys should all know my schedule by now. I tell it every day. Hey, alternate universes. Well, that's the thing, is that FNAF has alternate universes. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to make my own AU. It's like, Scott's making AUs. Like, his books are AUs. You think Fazgoo's part of the game timeline? No, it's fucking not, okay? It's not a real timeline. It's an alternate timeline where he's like, here, let's make this weird, crazy shit for a day. Like, what do you think Into the Pit had a April Fool's joke of Spring Bonnie of the big... That'd be funny. I hate the soft Afton AU. I don't know what that is. Is an alternate reality and not augmented reality. That's why so many things are different in the mask and out of the mask. Like, you kill Roxy and she comes back. What do you think? What do you mean? Oh, the Helpy says that the mask is an alternate, yeah, AR and not augmented reality. Wait. Does Helpy say that the mask is an alternate reality, not an augmented reality? Because it is just augmented reality. I know they say it's a VR. It's augmented reality, not virtual reality, but they call it VR and AR at the same time. It's really weird. But it is more of AR than VR, even though you do see virtual stuff. That virtual stuff is in actual reality. Like, it's just overlaid in an AR situation. So, I don't know. No. I asked you a question, and you didn't respond to me. So I was like, did Cross leave? I have a beard hair that keeps crawling up into my nose and itching it. No, I asked you a question. You still haven't answered it. Because you said I'm saying that VIP could help us understand concepts for Help Wanted 2, and I asked you, do you mean like the idea that the VR headset in VIP is like a precursor to the Vanny mask of Ruin or the Help Wanted 2 and Ruin? That the VR experience in VIP is like the build up is like showing us, you know. It's like Scott being like, "No, that didn't come out of nowhere. I had that. That already existed in Security Breach, way back before daycare even existed." He's like, "No, that VR. No, them doing VR stuff was way before then." But yeah, Soft AU Tubbo was talking about is an AU where Afton is a cat girl dating Glitchtrap and Clara is a drunk and Michael is abused by Dave and Liz. Okay, that's what the fuck. See, this is why I don't do fan-made shit. Because y'all make up some fucking weird shit, and no. Yeah, VIP might be a precursor to Help. It might be. I mean, it makes sense. Part of the thing, though, with VIP is that I think that the VR setup was a cop-out for you to be able to, no matter what, get get all the endings. I think purposely he made not Into the Pit, VIP very easy. Like, I think he purposely made it an easier book because it's book 0 and it's free and it was kind of short. It was a shorter book than I was expecting it to be. So, but again, I think it was to like get us into the knack, like get us into the vibe of what these books are gonna feel like. They're gonna feel more like you playing an old text-based game, but with more options. It's going to make me rage. Don't rage. No raging. But, like, yeah, like, it's going to be like playing text-based games, but, like, with more options. Like, a more in-depth version of that. But in book form. So you can just cheat if you want to. Which he references in the week before, where, like, there's one specific ending you can only get if you cheat and just go to that ending. More of my rants about the Fnaf lore. No, it's good. What if scenarios of the games instead doing dumb shit for views? Wait, this is why I do what if scenarios of the games instead of doing dumb shit for views. Exactly. That's exactly me too. That's why I don't like doing stupid shit. I hate gotcha cringe. Then ignore the gotcha cringe. Here's the thing: ignore it. They call me dad. A few of the people that watch the stream call me father. Don't ask me why. To be fair, I'm old enough to be some of the viewers' fathers, to be fair. I'm old enough to have a 15-year-old and people not look at me weird. I don't have a 15-year-old. I'm just saying I have a 5-year-old, but I am technically old enough to like legally have a 15-year-old child. Yeah. Musk has Twitter, aka X, and FNAF has a X account, and Elon has Tesla, so Golden Freddy is a Cybertruck. No. And 16, I'm technically still old enough to be your dad. If I made bad choices in high school, but yeah. Oh, that's a light. Okay. I'm like trying to fix this curve that pops up behind me, but it's just going to be there. It's a problem. There we go. I could do that. Now it's gone. Oh, anyways. But yeah, no, the ones who got exposed during group. No, I don't do. No. Definitely not. No. Nope. I'm smart. I'm a smart guy. So I am old enough to be both their dads. Got it. Cool. No, I'm smarter than that. Also, not into that shit. My wife is older than me. I like older chicks, man. All right. I don't want any of them. You know, I don't need anybody. I am happily married. I'm married. No, I'm just kidding. Don't let her hear that. I am happily married. I don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff happening. Yeah. What, can I see mom? No, she doesn't like being on camera. Unlike me, she doesn't like being on camera. So she's been on camera. There's videos with her on camera, but I'm not gonna say it's a different channel. It's not this channel. It's a different channel. Dude, every year's drama sucks ass. The only reason we think one year's drama is worse than other year's dramas is because we no longer remember the old drama because we're in the new drama. Bro, one of my favorite artists was exposed as a groomer dog, and yeah, I started to delete the music. By the way, it's not a FNAF artist. It's like scene music. No, I get it. I get it. No. I don't know. Again, personally, me, not gonna ever happen. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I realize I haven't said that yet today. Blah, 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 blah. What are we at, sub-wise? We're at 596 still. All right, we're at 161 views on the new video. It's actually, to be fair, it's not doing as well as I thought it might, but it is what it is. You know, you can't force the videos to do well, so. Oh. What is happening on Discord? Okay, cool. Anyways. But yeah. So I'm going to do a video. I think that might be my next. It was literally the groomer year and when gold became a debate twice. Nice. I think I am going to pitch the theory. I'm going to do a video on the Into the Pit and Stitch Line is a retelling of the DCI characters, FNAF 2, that we've been looking at as a FNAF 1 as an MCI remake, but it might be a DCI remake instead. And like I said, there's good evidence for it. You know, if Into the Pit takes place in a different part of Utah, it would make sense for it to then be a FNAF 2 reference instead of a FNAF 1 reference, because FNAF 2 would also take place in a different part of Utah, because that's how franchising works, right? Shit, I had more to it than just this. Well, six kids. DCI is 6 deaths. Into the Pit and Stitch Line is 6 deaths. Is Barney the dinosaur? Barney the rabbit. So who's going to win the gold debate? Wii Sports Golf or Mario Golf? Oh, that gold debate? I don't know, man. I don't play either of them. Here's the thing. There is no winners because they're both Nintendo. I think you can't have a real debate on what game is better unless you're crossing platforms. That's like being like what's the best? That's like asking like that'd be like, oh, who's gonna win MVP this year, LeBron James or Anthony Davis? It's like it doesn't matter. The team that they play for is the same team, so they're both winning the same. I don't know why I'm too obsessed with the William and Mrs. Afton ship. Well, that's not a ship. That's just true. William Afton was married to Mrs. Afton. Oh, the president debate? No, that's different. No, that's different. Okay. That the president's debate or the presidential election is a serious thing, and there's a clearly better choice. Right? There is a very bad choice and there is a very good choice. Right? There is a clear difference. It's not a participation trophy style debate. There is serious shit that is at stake in this presidential election, and a lot of people like to try and undersell it, and those people are the people who are hoping for the bad choice to be the choice that gets made. But no, there is a very serious thing happening with this election, right? If you are old enough to vote and you are not voting for Kamala Harris, do not watch my stream. I mean, that's cool, but there is a difference. Like, there are certain things where, like, you can say out-of-pocket shit for a lot of things, but when it comes to whether or not the country is going to stay a democratic country or become a dictatorship, I will lose my shit, and I will say something about it, okay? when one of the candidates is talking about removing all of their opposition from any position of power and only replacing them with alt-right Christian white supremacist supporters of theirs, there is a problem, right? As a cis white dude, I'm still not okay with this. And I will be very, very specific about it. If you are not voting for Harris and you are of voting age, do not watch my streams. Do not support my channel. Unsubscribe to me. Leave me alone. I do not want your support. It has citizens hit the... Oh, that... Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah. Are you over 18, Tubbo? Yeah, if we want to do a who can hit a golf ball farther and the target is the Trump Tower, yeah, I'm down for that. Who can hit the ball to the highest floor? Got to put it through a window for it to count. If you're 16, you can't vote. If you're 17, you can't vote unless you're going to be 18 before November 6th. All right, see you, Tubbo. Donald Dump and Bonnie, nice. But yeah, no, very, very, yeah. I don't mean to get super intense, but that is one thing that is a very, very important thing for me. That I do not wish for the support of Trump supporters. If you're someone who's going to vote for Trump, you should not be watching my content. I don't want you engaging with my content. You do not deserve to be engaging with my content. You do not deserve to watch my content, be entertained by my content, or anything. You do not deserve it. Period. Never mind, I'm back. Welcome back, Tubbo. So, disappear. Anyways, everybody else, hello. If you're too young to vote, or if you're voting for Harris, you're good. Or if you're from a different country, especially different country, you definitely don't have to worry about this shit. Lucky you. Make sure you have your sofa ready for me in case I have to leave country immediately before January 20th. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm gonna have to try and save up money just in case. Will Burn Trap, aka Grandpa Willie, will get a glow up? So here's my thing: is I don't think we're ever. I don't. Here's a FNAF prediction for you guys. I think that it's very unlikely that we'll ever see any version of William in Springtrap ever again. I think that era is done. I think he's gone. I think him getting picked up by the Tangle was the last we'll ever see of that. I think we might see pre-spring locked William in future games that are taking place in the past, but I don't think we'll ever see that version of William Afton ever again. Like a future version of him. That is like milk. So, I have opinions on that, and I don't want to say them on stream because I just don't, but I do have opinions on that. Dad, what is your favorite animatronic character? Oh, that I've answered many times before. Many times before. It's Foxy. Foxy's my favorite because he's a pirate, and I like pirates. Arr, matey, I be loving the pirate characters. They really get me into my own piratey stuff. Here's a pirate. Here's a pirate. Just another pirate. Thank you, Bolly. I'm Bolly. I do like me some Foxy. Foxy the pirate, best character. 10 out of 10. Would character again. My favorite is everybody. You mean this guy? each other's favorite characters from each FNAF games. Yes. I have Bonnie is a good character. I do appreciate a Bonnie. I appreciate. The funny thing is, I got a pair of Bonnies. I don't have Chica. We ended up with 2 Bonnies instead of the Chica. Ugh. And we got. Oh, yeah, I can do my own jump scares. There you go. There's the jump scare. Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody. I keep forgetting I have my hoodie over here. This is my favorite hoodie. Ooh, there you go. Favorite hoodie that I own. Do 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 ba do do. Do 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 do. Every single like Bonnie and Foxy Springtrap, Glitch Trap, Fun Time, Foxy Funtime Freddy is who I hate and like. Yeah, Foxy Puppet, Springtrap, Nightmarion, Balloon, Ballora. You're telling me from each one. Foxy from number 1, Puppet from 2, Springtrap from 3. Well, Springtrap's your only real option. Nightmarion from 4, Ballora from Sister Location, and Scrap Baby because of the claw. Is Scrap Baby because of the claw? Oh, you're scared of the claw. You're terrified of the claw. Oh, the claw's gonna get you. I like Bonnie, Withered Bonnie, Springtrap, Bon from 5, 4, Fredbear and Funtime Freddy. Funtime Freddy is such a cool character. Yeah. Glitch Trap, Glamrock Freddy, Mimic, and Carney, Into the Pit Trap. Well, yeah. Oh, you don't... I don't know. Into the Pit, I'm kind of feeling Bonnie. Bonnie's hilarious, dude. Bonnie doesn't even actually ruin you at all. Bonnie is the funniest, dude. Music Man. I need to get that as like a soundboard button. Music Man. They're just the Matt Pat version. But no, I don't know. I like Bonnie in Into the Pit just because this dude's hilarious. Hides under a table and trips you. I hate Funtime Freddy, but he's my favorite character. Like, I want to punch him for some reason. Like, I feel like a tweak. Nah, man, that's cool. Sometimes it's a love-hate relationship. You know, you love to hate him. You hate to love him. You know, you hate that you love him. You love that you hate him. You know, it is what it is. That's how it works. Yeah. Pit Trap is literally the horror icon. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, he's literally an animatronic monster kind of situation. He is an agony monster. He's like actually, I think he is the first reference to an actual like pure agony monster. And I get it. He's technically supposed to be William Afton, but once like when you get Into the Pit and you just have Into the Pit, right? You have just Into the Pit and you read it, it feels like it's now we drag the books. No. I love it. I mean, no, I love the concept of an agony monster, right? I love that as like, and that's why I'm looking forward to the Stitch line game continuity, like having a second game continuity where he can explore that kind of stuff. Because that's the problem with the game continuity is that there was such a long time where the only real supernatural thing about the games was the spirits inhabiting the animatronics. There was no, like, agony, really. There's, you know, like, they were there, but they didn't do a lot. But then you get into the books, and the books have agony and remnant and everything, like, doing more. You know, like, they used remnant or agony to, like, literally change humans into animatronics and animatronics into humans and swap souls and do all this other crazy shit that's not at all referenced in the game timeline. So I think it's a good idea to have that second game continuity timeline where they can do that shit now, because that you open the door when you make a second game continuity, because then you can be like, no, it does make sense because this is a separate universe from this universe. It's the same thing with the books. It's like it's a separate universe, so you can do that shit without it fucking up the timeline or like messing with things or being like, oh, this was possible the whole time. It just didn't happen at this location that we were at or whatnot. Like, and I mean, technically, yeah, some of this stuff could be game continuity. It would just be happening somewhere else in the world. TSC. What's oh, Silver Eyes. The Silver Eyes. William Afton. Yeah. Clay Burke. And then TSC, Jessica Fright, Jake Tails. Tails is a mimic. VIP, Devin. TWB, Ralph, forever and ever. Yeah. Yo, the scariest book character is Plush Trap Chaser. Changed my mind. Besides that big Robo Shark guy. No. The scariest, the absolute scariest animatronics in all of the books, in all of the games, in everything, is the Friend Freddies. The Friend Freddies are the scariest fucking animatronics. The little tiny Freddies that walk around and find lonely kids to keep them company or whatnot. Those are the scariest little fuckers of everything. The nightmare versions? No. Oh no, why? Because they fucking steal your soul. They fucking body swap you. Yes, they're the ones that body swap your ass and they put your consciousness into a little fucking animatronic thing and paralyze you at the same time. Those are the scariest little fuckers. Right? You can fight the other motherfuckers. Abby from the movies. Abby is a fucking G, okay? Abby is a straight up fucking G in the movies. All right, this chick's like, oh, we have haunted animatronics. I'm gonna be friends with them. Abby is a fucking boss, okay? She's a girl boss, 100%. Abby is the fucking shit, okay? No. Well, I mean, yeah, come on. You gotta, I mean, Peter Malark, fair enough. Anims, what up, Anims? She cooked. Abby cooked so fucking hard in that movie. That little girl comes into a fucking haunted, rundown, broken ass fucking Chuck E. Cheese looking shit. And it's like, I'm gonna be friends with the fucking haunted animatronics. Y'all, let's build a fucking fort. Okay? She fucking cooked. She came in there, fucking chef hat, was throwing shit in the pot and just started stirring it up. Okay? Anyone who's like, I'm gonna be best friends with haunted, 7-foot tall Chuck E. Cheese motherfuckers is the boss. Dude, Foxy looked cool as shit in the movie, by the way. He looked dope as fuck. No, I'm standing my point. Plush Trap Chaser is scary. Look up the book illustration. No, that's the thing. I don't care. He doesn't steal my fucking consciousness. You know why? Can you ground Hazel? I'm not going to ground Hazel. You guys work it out amongst yourselves, all right? I'm not here to police you guys. She was bothering you last night. Everyone bothers me. I mean, you guys were all bothering me. It doesn't Here's the thing. Wasn't bothering me because I turned off notifications. I didn't get told that you guys were talking to me until I wanted to look. It's like having selective mutism if you got or selective deafness if I was in if you guys lived with me. It's like I can just turn off my ears. Hello. Young Fnaf scared me and caused me to be afraid of Chuck E. Cheese. Nice. Be shocked if Willie wanted Abby all because it's the love remnant for immortality. No, yeah, that's the thing is, I don't see. Here's my thing. As time goes on, the whole remnant bringing back kids thing, I don't believe that. I think he was just trying to figure out how to become immortal, right? Honestly, my theory about the mimic taking over William Afton honestly is a better explanation for that whole remnant thing with William Afton. The mimic taking over William Afton's brain and trying to learn how to reverse engineer a soul makes way more sense for the whole remnant killing kids thing, right? Than William Afton being like, I will put you back together. I will figure out how to become immortal. Like, yeah. At least I don't bother Strider all the time. I don't know about the theory debates we end up. No, dude, that's the thing. Your debates help. I have changed my opinion on some theories because of your inclusion and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the best two explanations I can think of. Is either William Afton wanted to become immortal, right? Or B, the mimic is literally taken over William Afton's mind and it's learning how to get a soul of itself. It's learning how to be human. And how do you learn how do you learn machine stuff, right? Okay, Scott has gone on record to say that it was not his intention to make the character that gets impregnated by Bonnie Matt Pat. He didn't mean to name him Matthew. He was just thinking, he just thought of a name and gave the character a name and didn't even connect the dots that he gave the character the name Matthew. And the first time Matthew shows up in the franchise, it's when they get knocked up. Okay, he didn't do it on purpose, but it is fucking hilarious. No, I think William. So that's like I think you've been here when I've talked about this theory, but I have my theory is that William Afton, that Henry and William together built the mimic, right? That Henry is the engineer and William is the coder. He's the programmer, the computer programmer, right? And that together they built the program and the animatronic for the mimic, realized that it was a danger, but also realized that there's no way for them to like disassemble it or whatnot. Like they had to trap it. And then William built a program to keep it contained, the Mexus. Because if you think about it, the Mexus is a rabbit. And we know whose calling card rabbits are, and that's William Afton's. So what if William Afton built the Mexus as a program to control the mimic? So obviously it's connected to the mimic, but in the process of building that program, the mimic uses Mexus as a Trojan horse to then seep his way into William Afton's mind to mind control him, and then proceeds the whole FNAF game timeline is actually William Afton under control of the mimic. It would explain why he becomes cold and distant to his kids. It would explain why he's killing kids and taking them apart or like pulling their remnant. It would explain all these, like, why he's so mechanical, why he's so good at business, all this other stuff, because he takes a cold, hard, machine approach to all these aspects of his life, right? It would explain the remnant thing. It would explain why he's doing it to kids. He's trying to reverse engineer a soul. I have Foxy Picks on Discord. Cool. Woo. Is the fan. Yeah, the fan. Fan is the scariest OG character. But no, I will say it forever. The friend Freddies, the little tiny guys like this fucker right here, they're the scariest shit because they can literally steal your consciousness and lock you into a little plush like this and be stuck like that for the rest of your life. Okay, all other animatronics, I can run from, I can fight, I can do all these things to try and keep myself alive. There is a chance for me to live. This fucker steals my consciousness, I'm fucked, I'm done. There's nothing I can do to resist or win. I can't win. I look him in the eyes and poof, I'm gone. And now he gets to be me. They are the scariest little fuckers in the entire game, in the entire franchise. I could dropkick him, but what if I don't know, right? What if I'm sleeping, right? I'm asleep. They sneak into my room, they wake me up, and I open my eyes, and they stare into my eyes, steal my soul. Well, steal my consciousness. Cringy fanfics. Scariest Fazbear fight book is? Yeah, fanfics. Fanfiction. No, Fazgoo. Fazgoo will always be the weirdest shit. Okay. No, actually, no. No, no, no. No, I actually don't think Fazgoo's the weirdest shit. I think it's either Preggers, the Preggers short story. Okay, going to bed. All right, Cross. Have a good night, man. It's either the Preggers or it's the Sea Bonnies. Yeah, Sea Bonnies. Yeah, yeah. Just weird shit. William and Mrs. Afton. They were already married. They were married. They existed. That was a ship that actually existed. Anyways, but no, yeah, and those are my arguments on why there's no way that all stories, all books are game continuity, because there's no fucking way in the game universe that sea bonnies and knocking up people with bonnie babies and Fazgoo are at all relevant to the game universe, right? Those are like the fucked up weird side universes that you see on like Rick and Morty's interstellar cable bullshit, you know. In this movie, there's a guy and he's haunted by these animatronics, and the animatronics can create goo that can make copies of them, like that's all, like that sounds like some shit Rick and Morty was watching on their cable box. Daco OG song. I go into my bedroom. Oh no, what this happened? My sea monkey have rabbit heads. I flush them down the toilet. I take a drink and I'm dead. Yeah, don't drink sea bonnies. I didn't think that was a hard explanation to give. Don't drink sea bonnies. What is going on with Discord? Guys, quit messaging me on Discord. Just sending me foxy pictures. Cool. Right. Alright, guys. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys go check out the latest video. Alright. And what do you guys think? Let me get your guys' opinions. Next video that I release, should it be Into the Pit retelling of DCI? Right, Into the Pit / Stitchline is a retelling of the DCI universe, the DCI events. Do I do Fritz Midnight Motorist theory, or do I do my video on continuity, canonicity, fan made, and garbage? Because I'm willing to do all three. I'm going to do all three at some point. I got other ones I'm going to do too. There's also the why Cassidy is afraid of animatronics breakdown, like the longer video about that. I kind of get into it in the latest video, but really break it down and explain a lot of it. I'm going to do a video on how William Afton got the Endos into Sister Location, and how that proves that the FNAF 4 location is the FNAF 1 location, which then becomes the FNAF 6 location, which then becomes, you know, all that good shit. Sea bonnies in the sea, and everyone who drinks seawater will die. Like, yeah. FNAF, can I ask you a question? How often do you think people drink seawater? Just a quick question. How often do you think people drink seawater? I'm waiting for an answer. No, people don't drink seawater, dude. They drink fresh water. So putting the sea bonnies in the sea. No. So water bottles, all that stuff, those come from freshwater places. Those are lakes, those are rivers, those are mountain streams and runoff and stuff like that. You do not turn seawater into drinking water. You can. It's very difficult. It's way cheaper to just use actual freshwater sources to create fresh water. Bottle it, send it, all that good stuff. Yeah. No. Yeah. Seawater is different from freshwater. And they do mix on occasion, but the mixture is usually the sea bonnies would have to fight a very strong current to do that. Yeah. I get it, but yeah, wrong. No, what would be worse is in lake and water. Yeah. That would be the way to do it. Is put them in like lakes or something like that, like one of the big lakes. You know, put them in one of the sources where you get like Dasani or Pure Life or something like that, some water company, some Ice Mountain or whatnot. And that would be the way to spread sea bonnies like mad crazy. Which don't do that. If I ever find out that I'm full of sea bonnies, I'm coming to your house. And it will not be a pretty visit. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm coming for you, and you will not make it away. Do-do-do-do-do-do. What? You fill me with sea bonnies, I'm going to kill you. Mainly because I'm full of sea bonnies, and that's probably what they want me to do. I'm full of sea bonnies. And what do they want me to do? They want me to kill you. Do-do-do-do. And you're mad at me, but it's all your fault. You put them in my water. Now I'm gonna murder you. And I can't wait no longer. I'm coming to your house. I'm coming to your room. What, you don't like me singing? It's funny. Come on, guys. This is funny. Oh, come on. Why you don't like us singing? You don't like us. Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyways, no, imagine someone contaminates all the water with sea bunnies and everyone dies and roll credits. That happens in like some of the universes, actually. The Death Earth. Oh, yeah, no, it's a joke. Obviously, I'm joking. If you take that seriously, that's your own fault. That's your problem, not my problem. Don't put this on me. I'm not the problem here. You're the problem here. My chair is making a big shadow, and I don't like that. I want the green screen to work. Anyone making any new green screen videos? God, I found the mini bears you were talking about. Oh yeah. The friend Freddies or whatever they're called. Or the Freddy friends or whatever. Yeah. I like it that way. Yeah, they're in a Fnaf book. Yeah, I know. I can't remember which one, but it's a Fazbear Frights book, I believe. This is my ADHD taking over at this point. I got a cord to my mic, and I move it around all over the place. I kick it constantly. Anyways. So Airplane Peanuts, what is the deal? No, I'm just kidding. They're pretty well known to FNAF book readers. Well, you know, what not a lot of people read the books. Never mind. Welcome to the ADHD Club. I've been here. I've been here since I was like 6. What's the Fritz motor theory? Hello, Dabs. Dabs, did you get my Discord messages, by the way? You haven't responded yet, so I wanted to, since you're clearly here right now, I can corner you and ask you. And I can tell you the Fritz motor. And I've told you this theory. I think I've said this theory on stream quite a few times. So I believe that Midnight Motorist is the story of how Fritz was kidnapped by William Afton. That he lured him in. Oh god damn it! I'm talking to the back of the mic again. That he lured Fritz in by taking advantage of Fritz's terrible home life. That the yellow guy is Fritz's dad, right? And the entire Midnight Motorist minigame is supposed to show that Dabs is Dabs is girl. Dabs is best friend, or yeah. Dabs is about as close to a sister as I've ever had. So if you guys do anything to irritate Dabs, I will. She'll ban you. I won't even. It won't. It's not even me. Dabs can ban you on her own because Dabs has full control of everything. Like I said, Dabs is family. So you can't do anything to annoy Dabs. Dabs has final say. If Dabs came to me and was like, "Hey, we need to ban this person," I'm just like, "Why have you even asked? Just do it." But Dabs is very nice. Yes, Dabs is more nice than I am actually sometimes. Oh, those are the frettles. Those are the frettles. Yeah. No, Dabs, you didn't answer my. Who's talking? I am the new Matt Pat. I don't think I'm the new Matt Pat. Matt Pat is still the Matt Pat. You should read the messages I sent you in Discord about the next, not the next video, but a thing that you can do while I'm planning the next video to help us out even more. And we gotta work on Dabs. Dabs needs to learn to say the phrase "our" and "we" and you know the combinedness of usness for things. These are not my videos that I'm releasing, guys. This is our videos, mine and Dabs' videos. It's both of us. If you guys like the videos that are coming out on the channel, they are edited by Dabs, and I'm just the guy who makes up the theory, does the research, and then talks about it. But Dabs is the one who makes the videos look good. So, like the last two videos that we released, the worst part about the videos was me. Everything else was great. I was the problem. Oh, that's the other question I want to ask you guys. The next video that I do, no matter what it's gonna be a voiceover only video. Dabs is going to do the avatar version of me, doing stuff. I don't know, sitting at a desk. I don't know if I want to do a desk because I feel like then I'm ripping off like ID Fantasy and stuff. I think it's something else. Me and Dabs will have to talk about it. Yeah, I record Dabs edits. Yep. Yeah. So if you guys like the videos, you have to thank Dabs more than me actually, because the longer process is what Dabs does. You know, the video I recorded the video that you guys just watched. I recorded everything for it like 3 weeks ago, over like an hour and a half. In the Fnaf 3 office, I don't know. I think it could just be my guys standing up and doing things. It would be funny because Dabs, you gave my avatar a flashlight, right? I'm dragging Dabs into the conversation is the funny part now, as I'm forcing Dabs to talk and chat. Dabs, you were just here. You can't pretend like you disappeared. You were just here. Yep. When you started doing FNAF stuff, I made a guard avatar. So I think you. Sorry, I can't talk. No, you're fine. I think one of the funny things would be is like it was when we go to do the avatar only video, when I give like cool evidence, like use the flashlight, like I'm shining a light on the evidence. I feel like that would be funny, right? Like, and then we have this click and it's just a flashlight shining onto the new evidence or whatnot. I don't know, maybe something like that. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Dabs will figure it out. Dabs will make it look great because Dabs has already made the videos look great. I'm trying to get my talking and researching and laying out time, like a good outline. I'm trying to get that up to the level of Dabs's editing, because Dabs's editing is already better than what I'm doing. So I have to reach that bar. And the problem is Dabs is only going to get better as I'm doing stuff. So I'm going to constantly be trying to catch up. Be edited on CapCut, which is even more dope. Is this sleeping? Probably. Hazel's probably asleep today. But yeah. So no, oh yeah, so Midnight Motorist, Dabs, for you. It was so easy to make the thumbnails. Oh, was it? Yeah, the thumbnails look dope. Yeah, so the main thing about Midnight Motorist is that I believe that it is a mini game that shows us Fritz's actual story instead. So, and the reason I say Fritz is because the reason I specifically think it's Fritz and not a different character is because of the fact that in the games and stuff, Fritz is the only character we haven't seen, we haven't been given any information about, right? There's, I don't know if there's anything specifically in Midnight Motorist that really implies that it would be Fritz specifically. It just makes a lot of sense in my mind. Well, there's actually no, there is things that indicate that it would be Fritz. So Midnight Motorist in the game things or whatnot, it does say like later that night, and you get the game after you get Fruity Maze. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it means later that night because it's raining also, so it means that it's later that night after the Charlie death. I don't think so. I think that's just a red herring, right? I think it's actually later that night after the Susie incident. Okay. My real life brother is not annoying me. Cool, that's awesome. But no, anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it's later that night, and we know that the order of deaths is Susie, Fritz, Jeremy, Gabriel together, Cassidy, and then Puppet. And then Charlie, right? And then Dave's at the very beginning, right? Susie saw it all, but Dave was actually the first death. Susie's the first of the actual like serial killer murders, right? So, anyways, so Fritz would be second, and if it's later that night after the Susie murder, so I think he murders one kid, then he goes out, he gets another kid, lures them into the pizza place, and then kills them too, because he's got to do these in quick succession. It's not like he's killing a kid a day, or killing one kid, then another kid, killing one kid one day, another kid another day, and then the other two kids the next day getting caught. Like, I think he does it like 2 days max, or maybe even the same day. He does all 4 of them in one day, whatever. But the point is that I think that was implying that was later that night after Susie, then he got Fritz, right? But the thing is that in Midnight Motorist, what we know for a fact is that the driver of the purple car is drunk and he's yellow. There's no, and people make like these arguments about like, oh, the background was too dark and stuff like that. It's like, I get it. Matt Pat said that one time as a potential reason why he's not purple anymore, and people latch on to it. And that's the other problem, is that even Matt Pat has reversed some of his opinions on things, but people like take Matt Pat's theories as like gospel, right? And even he will tell you like, don't, I can be wrong. Everyone can be wrong. And that's the thing, is like Matt Pat says something and people latch on to it. Like he's literally written lore or whatnot. And it's like, he doesn't know anything more than we do, right? So anyways, there's no reason for him to not be purple. He could very well be purple. And I think what we're going to do in the video dabs is, if you can do it, if you can somehow potentially just pull any and all of the purple guy's sprites out of actual game footage, but like if you can pull the sprites by themselves and we can put them on the screen, on the Midnight Motorist screen, and show how their purple sprite would have been fine. Like, it wouldn't look bad. That would be dope. Like, if we could do that, that would be dope, right? Because, like, honestly, in my opinion, there is no reason not to make him purple if he's purple. So my theory is that this is actually Fritz's dad, and this is us showing how Fritz got abducted, right? So Fritz's dad is a drunk, and he's abusive. We learn both of these facts from the from the game itself. He drives to a bar. The bar says, no, you're not coming in here anymore, aka you've hit your limit, go home. He goes home. When he goes home, the mother in the house... I keep drying out my throat by talking too much. Anyways, Fritz's mom is, pleads with him, leave him alone. He's already had a rough day. Yeah, no, yeah, dumb theory. Sorry, man. I'll call him as I see him. That's a dumb theory. Sorry, FNAF fan. No, but that's the thing. Is like it shows. Okay, he's a drunk. He's abusive. When he goes home, mom says, leave him alone. He's had a rough day. He goes to the kid's room anyways, can't open the door and gets belligerent about it. He's like, you can't lock the door in my house. And like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna teach him a lesson. Walks around. We see Spring Bonnie footprints. They're the narrow three toes, which is Spring Bonnie's footprints. And then we see other footprints after a broken window. I know the pixels would be too small to really indicate which side the window was broken. And we don't know which side the window, where the glass was broken, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we see him broke the window, got out, went to that place again. That place being the Freddy Fazbear's. Because his dad's abusive alcoholic, and so he leaves his house for as long as he possibly can, and he goes to Freddy Fazbear's to play, right? Since the arcade costs money, food costs money, everything costs money. It's pretty obvious that it's free to get in. Back then, it was free to get in, and then all your money went into, the games and the pizza and food and stuff like that. So Fritz probably went there all the time and just wandered around hanging out with other kids. He probably was poor and didn't actually get to play the games that often, Unlike Susie, who had the money to be able to play Fruity Maze, apparently a fuck ton, because that shit is so hard. But yeah, so it gives you two different examples of how he lured in the kids, how he did it. And someone was arguing with me on the Reddit, because that's what people do, and they're like, why would he have two different? Why would he show two different? You already have Fruity Maze that shows how he lured in a victim. Why would he have a second mini game about it? It's like, because I don't know, why do cops pull up multiple different references on how serial killers pick their victims? Because you want a database. Like, you want multiple examples in order to catch the fucker. Right? They don't go, oh, let's go to murder number 1. Okay, this is how he killed this person. All right, that's enough evidence. Like he's showing evidence. He's showing us how the victims are chosen. What up, Jimmy Bonk? Bro. When are you doing a face reveal? Shut up. Go fuck yourself. I'm eating spicy chicken. What kind of spicy chicken, Willard? What kind of spicy chicken are we talking about? We're talking about, like, real spicy chicken? Are we talking about, like, kind of spicy chicken? Like, oh, I got some habanero spice chicken. Or are we talking about, like, I got some ghost pepper chicken up in here. I got pepper X all over this piece. Got some Cajun. Right. Flaming hot teriyaki marsupial. I don't know. I got a little koala dust on my chicken. What? I don't know. When I'm streaming, do you guys think I'm tall or short when you're looking at the videos? Do you feel like I'm tall, or do you guys feel like I'm short? I realize looking at the video, I don't know how I feel about what my height actually looks like. Ponkatron 17. Shut up, Dabs. You know I'm tall. With on Doomspire Defense. Well, that was me. Oh, cool. Ponkatron. That's cool. Korean spicy noodles. Oh, that sounds so good. I am tall, by the way. In case you guys didn't know, I'm 6'2". A little bit tall. Yeah. Dabs, what are you, like 5'1"? Actually, Dabs, you're slightly tall for a woman, I think, if I remember correctly. Dirty. Her height is dirty. No, you're tall. I'm very tall. Yeah, I'm 6'2". I'm not very tall. I'm NBA point guard tall. Okay. 5'1". I knew it. I knew Dabs was short. I don't know. Something about Dabs just tells me she's short. So. I gotta get my delivery. Like, I gotta get my 5'1" is tall. No, I'm 5'7". That makes sense. Actually, that makes more sense. Best official FNAF game. Into the pit, because I can play it. If you put a noodle in a pool noodle, you get a pool noodle. Yeah. When I was in the 5th grade, I had a classmate who was 5'10". That's cool. And Dabs is right-handed. That's cool. Most people are right-handed. 90, like 80 to 90% of the population is right-handed. Batsy is left-handed. You're 9 inches tall. Damn, Jimmy, that sucks to be. What are you, Stuart Little? Left hand, nice, cool. You're Caillou. Still remembering when Ian from Smosh pretended to be Caillou on Twitter for like a year, and then they like started yelling at him about it. Like, hey, you gotta stop, because he would say some really fucked up shit as Caillou. It was really funny in my opinion. Yes. It Dabs. I don't know if you're. I'm sure you're listening, but I'm gonna respond to your. If we're both ready to, yes. For one, Dabo. For the edit for the video. For that video we were talking about with the playthrough, yes. I mean, if you, whatever sounds better to you, if you think you can edit it out without it sounding like looking weird, sure. But if it makes more sense to keep it in, then that's fine too. Whatever looks better, I guess. Whatever comes out feeling better, I guess, is the best way to put it, I think. But yeah, because that's like the meta right now, is like to do your like multi-parts of you playing through a FNAF game and then doing like a movie version of it. Wait, you're talking about the guy who did all those Indian versions of characters? No. No, I'm talking about Ian from Smosh. Do you know? Fuck, I'm talking to children here. You guys aren't going to know what the fuck Smosh is. Y'all know what Smosh is? The YouTube channel Smosh? Like one of the first big YouTube channels ever. They were the #1 most subscribed 3 different times. Yeah. Only heard the second. No, yeah. Yeah. And Dabs, I'll tell you, I'll send you, here, I'm going to send you the 2 best times most days to converse. Those are in my times, so we didn't start the fire. We didn't start the fire. Ooh. Knew your face. I don't know what that's. A 7-time combo. Because he did the 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's what it is. Streamlabs is letting us know how many times that happened in a row. Okay. That's what the combo thing is. All right. Guys, when we are done with this stream, everyone go watch my new video. Even if you've watched it before, watch it a second time. Share it, send it to people, all that good stuff. It released almost a day ago. We're at almost 1 day, and we're at 162 views. Yeah. But we got a little bit more time before we're done. We're going to be done here in like 10, 15 minutes, though. Maybe a little bit sooner. I kind of drank a lot of water, so might be ending soon. But yeah, I think I'm going to do Into the Pit video next, Dabs. That one's going to be real fun, because what I want to do is I want to do some real world factoids into it to as part of my evidence, So I'll do the research. I'm not going to make you do a bunch of map research, but I'm going to look up like the distance that the average distance that like new restaurants that are beginning to franchise, like when they open up a second location, what the average distance is from the first location that they do. And I'm also going to try and see if I can look up the location of the first and second Chuck E. Cheese and like Dave and Buster's. And if you guys can think of any other of those kind of restaurants, like game restaurant things, let me know, because I'll do those too. What are you doing? Well, because the theory that I'm talking about is how I think that, yeah, Showbiz Pizza would be a good one to look up too. Because the theory is that I think Into the Pit and the Stitch Wraith time on the Stitch line story in the books in the game, I think they're actually a retelling of the DCI event in FNAF 2, not the MCI event from FNAF 1. I think that Into the Pit, and the main reason I think this is because, one, FNAF 2 is clearly a second location being opened somewhere else. A second location, brand new location being opened up. So if you're opening up a second location to your franchise, you're not going to do it in the same city. That's dumb. You're now competing against yourself for your customer base. It is smarter to open up a second franchise in a whole new town, or like on the other side of the state, for instance. So if you're for just an example, if you were to have a first location in Hurricane, Utah, it would make sense for you to have a second location, just for example, in somewhere like Taylorsville, Utah. Right? So your customer base doesn't overlap with your other location, right? So FNAF 2 is the second location, so it would make sense for it to not be in Hurricane, Utah, unlike the other location that we normally talk about in the games, right? So if second location is in a different town, and we know Into the Pit is in a different town than Hurricane, Utah, and FNAF 2 has 6 children who die in its murder event. Yeah, Anims, can you stop whatever the hell you're doing? It's unnecessary. Is that all the what are you talking about? Anyways. Yeah, I know that you are. Can you please stop? I appreciate it, kind of, but at the same time, I don't. Yes, I got that you did the entire song. I got that you copy-pasted all the lines. I get that. Some random person stream for saying spell iCup and what's 9 plus 10. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate it, Anims. But anyways, yeah. So FNAF 2 has 6 dead kids in the mini game where you go and wander around the FNAF 2 location. You find 6 bodies. How many bodies are Into the Pit, guys? 6 dead bodies. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I know it's just those 2 facts that really tie it together, but come on. Yeah. Like that's the thing, is that like I think that the Stitch Line book series is a retelling of the DCI event, because after FNAF 2, we never really hear about it again, for the most part, right? It may have got slightly referenced in FNAF 3, but FNAF 4, we then go back to the MCIs again. FNAF 5, we talk about the MCIs again. FNAF 6, we finish off the MCIs again. And FNAF 7 is literally William being punished for the MCIs. But we never talk about the DCIs again. We never talk about the 6 kids that were murdered at the FNAF 2 location. And I think part of it is because they're separated. The FNAF 2 location is clearly somewhere different. So I think that the Stitch line storyline is Scott's way of finally telling that story or retelling that story in a better way, so that way he can let us know that those kids did eventually get taken care of too, that those kids were eventually saved also. It would have been too hard for him to make a game series about 2 different murder events, right? So he stuck to the MCI because that was the one that we were hyper focused on, and he let go of the DCI, right? Because when he did FNAF 2, he wasn't really planning on doing like a big, like, here's, big storyline of all of it. So by the time FNAF 4 was done and like he was moving on to FNAF 5 and he's like, okay, we're going to continue this storyline, he had to make a decision. So he went with MCI, right? Because it was the first. It happened first, so he does it. And then you go into his book series, and his book series is about the MCI. It's about the first one. But what if his Fazbear Frights epilogue series, the Stitch line, what if his second, like, long story that he writes is about the DCI, his second location, his second event? And then the Tales is about the third location, the Pizzaplex. So that's the theory so far. I'm obviously going to look into more stuff and find more connections and stuff to explain it better. But that's kind of why I want to do like the map part of it, because I want to get that real world facts in to really help justify it. Song name. Wait, do you know about the FNAF 3 ending song, blah, blah, blah thing? It has a little music box thing with that song. If you do, please tell me. What do you mean? What? No, I don't know what the song's called. I know one of the mini games is like Alchemist's Dream is a mini game song, but I think that's in like FNAF 6 or something like that. But yeah. That's the main meat of that theory, is the fact that it just kind of connects. Into the Pit takes place in a different area than Hurricane, Utah. FNAF 2 being a new location means that it technically should also take place in a different location than Hurricane, Utah. It would not make sense for a new restaurant, for a second franchise location, to be in Hurricane, Utah. I think FNAF 1, FNAF 4, and FNAF 6 all take place in the same building. And I have justifications for that, and that'll come out in a theory video later. Right. But anyways, guys, we're coming down to the end of it. I gotta go. Yeah. Anyways, I've been drinking a lot of water, so I'm gonna be ending the stream here like now-ish. So I love your faces. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, do that. Hit the bell. Turn on all notifications so you guys get notified whenever I do go live. I am live, guys. New schedule-ish by KS by Debs. New schedule-ish. We are going to be live Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be off on Sundays. Mondays will be 12:30 again, Eastern Standard Time. Tuesdays, we're going to start Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Tuesday night, we will start at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So we can have like a 4-hour stream, right? So we're going to be doing that Tuesdays. We're going to be having longer stream Tuesday, which is probably going to be a Roblox day. Not going to lie. I think Tuesday will be a Roblox day, because I feel like me standing up for 4.5 hours trying to talk to you guys in front of the green screen, super hard. Tried to do it last Tuesday. Halfway through, we swapped to Roblox. I think I'm just going to make it a Roblox day. So Tuesday is our get shit done on Roblox day. So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. But Monday, Fridays, other days, going to be green screen days. Are you like the new Matt Pat? I don't think I'm the new Matt Pat. I think I'm the Strider man, or just Strider. Oh, it disappeared. I see him. You're 4 purples. But thank you guys so much for watching again. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow in the next stream, which is tomorrow, 12:30. Love your faces. Go watch my video if you guys haven't yet. We dropped a new video recently. Go watch it. Go talk in the comments about how cool the editing is, and tag Dabs in all your comments about how cool her editing is. So that way we can super embarrass her on how good of a job she did. So love your faces. I'll see you guys in the next one.